All right, welcome back, everyone, to the One Up XP Show podcast. And today it is a very awesome podcast that we have here because I have a dear close friend of mine. I have not met this person in life, but I've known this person for pretty much the extent of my streaming career, which is 6.5 years. He gave me a big leg up when it came to streaming, and that was in the form of the Hype Squad. But we'll get into that in just a second. We got to play the intro first. Here we go. Oh, Dan, please don't be upset at me, my news director. I still have the wrong intro in there, but I'll fix it, I promise. We bring in Dexb0t. Dex. I didn't even know that was his name, but I've known him as Dexb0t for 6 years. Brother, what's happening, man? Thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate you asking me to come on.
Oh, dude, you've been so many firsts in so much of my streaming career. First off, I want to say I started 6.5 years ago from a console. I don't know how I stumbled upon you or you stumbled upon me, but you were talking about, I was playing Destiny, you were talking about having a hype squad, which you were saying, oh man, it's going to be a bunch of streamers, people, and we make content together on the Twitch team. And like, I don't know what happened. And the summer, I burnt myself out from streaming for so long when I started. So many hours, just endless days. I took the summer off. And then I think you sent me a message in August saying, hey, you want to be part of the hype squad. And I was like, let's do it. And that gave me a kind of another, ignite to the flames, if you will, to start streaming again. But what I did not know was the man who was behind Hype Squad and the people in Hype Squad, just how crazy they were. You had yourself, who's building his own brand and his own really, I say secondary career because you do have a career outside of this, but you jostle so much. But there was Pooty in there, which I haven't seen Pooty in forever, but come to find out, dude would play college hockey, a really close friend of mine through the years. And then Super Professor, who I've known him when we went to Set to Destroy X2. Man, you have a lot of stuff, and I did not know the extent of how you were building it. Dex, thank you for joining me, brother. It's always been a pleasure. I've seen you from afar, from up close, and I do have to give you a big old thank you for everything that has happened because you started it all for me, man. I appreciate it. But let's get some background on you. First of all, who is Dexb0t and Dex? And how do we end up here, where we're at in 2021? Let's go all the way back, man. When did you start gaming, and how did you get to where you're at now?
And so I don't want to age or date myself too much. When I say whenever I first started gaming, we'll say online gaming, which is really whenever I got my exposure to, playing video games on the internet, multiplayer experiences with other people, was roughly like 2001, 2002-ish, I believe.
Yeah, I'd say that sounds about right.
Half-Life, Action Half-Life was the game I got into. One of my neighbors had got me into playing it. I transitioned from that into Counter-Strike. I played that for a while. And then, as more games come out and you get introduced to more things, eventually ended up in the Call of Duty, and that's where I've really spent the last decade plus creating this content.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if there's something new with Call of Duty, Dex is on it. I mean, you are a Call of Duty partner. You flew out a few times or one time to several Call of Duty events. Was it just one time, or you've flown out a few times, haven't you?
Several, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably pushing 10 to 15.
Really?
I've been out to different Call of Duty reveals across the different titles throughout the different years. I've been to all of the studios to record content and get stuff whenever they'd have like the new DLC packs that would come out,
right.
Prior to like the Battle Pass model. So they would fly us out and we'd get to like create content or record content that we would create early and different stuff like that. And
That's
talk
sweet.
to the developers and everything. So I've been plugged in the Call of Duty community for several years now.
And you've been streaming since 2014?
2014, beginning of 2014, straight from my Xbox One console.
Yeah. I mean,
I believe we had similar starts.
Yeah, similar starts. That's exactly what it was. I remember when I got my one, which that came out, was it early 14 or was it late 13? I can't remember. I got it when it first came out, but they had this Twitch thing and they're like, stream straight to Twitch. I was like, what is this? And I accidentally hit it a few times. I think I was doing Titanfall. But I didn't jump on the bandwagon until January 2nd, 2015 is when I started, and it was Destiny. I was streaming from my console to see, I didn't want to dive a bunch of money into it. And then when I figured this was what I kind of wanted to do as a hobby, got a capture card, pieced together a PC. It essentially took off. You grow in ways that you don't know. And that's what I love about esports and, video games in general. You go down avenues. We almost even went down the same avenue when it came to an organization. We both, the same weekend, we did not know that we both applied for Set to Destroy X, and they brought us in the lobby together. Man, this was a Skype lobby even. A Skype lobby. And I was like, Dex? And you're like, Flake? We were both in the same lobby to get into Set to Destroy X, and they both wanted us. Unfortunately for you, it was kind of conflicting with Call of Duty. But I was like, wait a second. That was straight off Hype Squad. And then you've really taken a different path. You're now part of Carnage. Explain Carnage to me. I've seen Carnage for years, and I've seen them from afar, but I really don't know Carnage. Is it like Set to Destroy X or Lazarus now, or is it like an organization, or is it just content creators?
It's just content creators. We're a professional organization, but we're professional gaming entertainment.
Right.
So a lot of our content as an organization, we have individual creators that have their individual brands as well, but we come together to create content under Carnage, and we get together, and our most notable series that we have on our YouTube channel is our team challenges that we do in Call of Duty.
Yeah, I have seen those.
We try to, do ridiculous challenges. We'll set ourselves up almost, for failure in any way, shape, or form, and try to have crazy comebacks or crazy wins or go on crazy streaks to really like dominate the enemies when we can, So it's something that's a little bit different. Not a lot of people get together and create that challenge-based content in Call of Duty. So that's kind of our unique type of content that we deliver to the community.
So it's kind of an organization of content creators, not necessarily like pro teams or anything like that, but you guys are content creators. But yeah, I have seen two of the videos in particular that I remember. Everybody tried to get a nuke in every title, and that was a good one. And then also, I think I just saw one on your TikTok, 75 kills by yourself in TDM.
Yes. So I've done that in a few different games. I've been the select individual to do it, and it's crazy because it takes teamwork. They'll all sit back or try to avoid the enemies so they don't get eliminated, so they don't give them too many points. And I'm trying to slay out the entire time and stuff. So something like doing things like that, sometimes it's a little bit harder than you would think.
So funny. Oh, I can't imagine, dude. 75. Yeah. Oh man, that's wild. But yeah, that's some of the things that you got. You're part. That's part of Carnage. What else do you do in Carnage? Is it socials or anything like that, or what is it else that you do in Carnage besides create content?
Yeah, so I'm part of like our little management team that we have that helps deliver a lot of things, but a lot of that comes from the way I handle all of the social media platforms and whatnot. So I'll craft a lot of our tweets and post a lot of the TikToks and Instagram reels and whatnot, whenever the editors will send stuff over to me. And we just, try to keep pumping out and showcasing the content that we create as an organization and stay plugged into the communities that we deliver that content on.
So my question is now, your brand, Dexb0t, how long have you been Dexb0t for?
I believe I switched to the Dexb0t brand. I started creating it right around the time I started streaming. So I want to say around 2014.
Okay, so it wasn't a gamer tag that you ran with forever and haven't changed.
I always just used because I played competitively as well, right? So I would be part of different teams. So I always just used Dex for anything. I just used my name. If I was, the teams I was part of, you tie in your team name to your
exactly
alias back in the day, right?
Back in the day,
you'd put your little team name and your gamer tag and I was just Dex.
Were you part of Pure? Because we were Pure. We were Pure. So we used to be Bill, and then I think there was Fury, but we came together with some other clan. So this was back in Call of Duty days. This was back in World at War, I believe. This is when competitive really started to take off. MLG was just starting to be a thing. Game battles was first introduced. We were top 10 in the world in headquarters in game battles when this first took off. So like we joined.
Destroy.
You did Search and Destroy?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we were Nightmares of Xbox. Is Nox NOX was our.
Oh, okay. So we were Bill, and then we became Pure. Big P, small U, big R, and then an E. Small E.
I remember that. I remember that.
It took off. None of us stayed with it, but when we left, everyone else were bringing people in, and it's still, I still this to this day see those clan tags of pure. But I was just like, that's wild to me. But that's how you like. That was kind of like the organizations back in the day. You said I'm part of this clan, and then organizations became a thing. But yeah, that was like, that's wild to me. Like, I didn't know if you were part of some of the same ones that I was. We were about to have another 7 Ways to Kevin Bacon moment. But yeah, building a brand, obviously, you know, you do it very well. From afar, I can see just how in touch you are with socials, TikTok especially. Like, when you were talking to me about Major League Baseball, 2K, or not 2K, but the show, you were asking, should I do this? Should I do this? Should I do this? I was like, dude, get on it. It's gonna be sweet. And I have seen some of your TikToks, dude, and they are so hilarious with MLB The Show. But you know exactly what socials and how to tie them in and when the right opportunity is to strike. And if you don't believe me, go to his socials, which are on the screen. But also, we'll give him a time to spout out some of those after the fact. But watch his socials, his videos, and when they release, and tell me he is not a marketing genius. He's a marketing genius, folks. He knows what he's doing. But I will have to say that has it been easy to make that Dexb0t brand? Was it something that just happened, or was it just like, you know, I'm going to run with this and it's turned out to what it is? I mean, you're 35,000 deep in Twitter. You're 16,000 deep on Twitch. I mean, you have the following. Like, was it easy, or was it like, did it just pop up out of nowhere?
It's funny you asked that, because I'll say it's easy. I feel like, in a sense of, it comes natural to me, and like in the sense of that I'm having fun with what I'm doing.
Right. And
I just get social media. I'm so interested and so tied into social media. Like you said, I have fun creating the content, and then putting it out there, it just seems natural. And I feel like the first time that I logged on to Twitch and I watched a Twitch stream, I believe it was actually Pooty that I had watched. You know, so it's funny you brought that up.
Yeah.
My first thought was, I can do this. Right. I wasn't even like an avid viewer of the Twitch platform or watching gaming entertainment content. I had not watched YouTube videos on gaming stuff unless I was literally trying to like learn how to do something. Right. So it's the first time I saw something like that, I was like, I can do it. I want to do it. Just like you said, it was something that you found out you wanted to do and you wanted to chase it. And I feel like ever since then, it's just been, you know, you just hit the ground running and you just keep chasing and keep learning the different platforms that you're trying to deliver the content to and the community that you're trying to entertain.
Right. And I mean, and with the COD community, I mean, that is one thing that I feel like you and I were both in so early on. You knew right away, like if you were going to stream, you kind of knew what to hit and how to hit it, because we had, let's see, I mean, we had 10 years of COD involvement before streaming was a thing. I mean, we knew so long in advance. I mean, when we started streaming 2015, what was the COD game at the time? Was it Black Ops 2?
Yeah, I think back end of that, Black Ops 2 into what came after Black Ops 2?
Modern Warfare 3.
Modern Warfare 3.
Yeah,
somewhere in that time frame. Yeah.
Yeah, Modern Warfare 3 was the one that I had IGN's Kill of the Week the first week the game came out. And that was cool. Back when they were like, they had the Kill of the Week, and at the time, clips were just becoming a thing. You could clip on Xbox or whatever it was. Yep. But remember, if you call back to the first week, I mean, we all did the same thing. We stayed up to midnight at GameStop, got our game, and went home and played. I took the day off of work. Right? Exactly. It's so foreign.
I mean, interrupt you, but man.
No, you're exactly right.
Do that now?
Are GameStops even still around?
Barely.
Barely. So I would, if you recall, the FAMAS was broken the first week that it came out, because it was one tap dirt nap. And the thing was, we were on, what map was it? It was like the train station map. I can't remember the name of it. Anyway, I killed 6 or 7 guys, and then I had a care package. I called the care package, and I threw it on the steps, and the guy ran up, and it fell on him and killed him to win the game. And I sent that in, and it was the last one. And I was like, oh my God, I got a clip of the week. And it was the first week Modern Warfare 3 hit. I was so jacked. Cool. Can you imagine if somebody did that now? You'd just be followed left and right. I'd be like,
yeah.
Man, why didn't I have any opportunity then?
Right? Exactly.
But yeah, that was, I mean, COD's just come so far. But yeah, building that brand, I mean, obviously you've done so much over so many years, but are there any goals? I mean, obviously you have sponsors and you have Carnage, and you have a really well built brand. But are there any goals, whether it's a year or 2 years or 5 years down the road for this brand?
So there is. I would say everything that I do with this content creation, like you previously mentioned, I do have a full-time career, I have a family, so with where I'm at in life, I can't just up and chase a dream completely, right? So
Right.
I already know that my goal and my grind in gaming content creation is a marathon. It's not going to be a sprint unless
Right.
something comes available that I have a crazy opportunity that I could really chase it. So for me, one day in however many years, it would be awesome to be able to take this passion that I have and everything that I've learned from managing socials and creating gaming entertainment content and being part of an organization, a team that can also deliver that. I'd love to be able to turn that into a full-time job,
Yeah.
but I have to wait for the right time to make that decision, as like I
Right.
said, as a family guy, pretty much.
No, I mean you and I are 100%. I mean, the thing is, like when you take a look at streamers, like Dr. Lupo started streaming the same time we started streaming, and he took a leap of faith by making it a full time gig.
Yep.
At that time, nobody knew anything about it. Like if you're taking that leap, you had nothing to fall back on unless you had some way of retaining the career that you had previous to it, and it was just an unknown. Nowadays,
Right.
in content creation, you have like Dr. Lupo and Tim the Tam Man, they're getting guaranteed money now because of the brands that they have built and because of content creation. And I think that's the road that you'll see change is content creation is becoming a thing that if you can do it right, or if you find the right job, you can get paid to make content. It is now, a job. It is literally a way of entertainment that wasn't, foreseen that way 5, 6, 7 years ago. So yeah, I think, like you said, you and me, we kind of cut from the same cloth, if you will, where you were raised as a kid. It was like, get a job, get a good paying job, and then, you can do your hobbies and play hard, whatever.
Yep, exactly.
I really feel like this generation, it's changing a little bit. Get the job that you want to have and go hard. Whereas before, it was like, go to school, get a job, or focus on one road and head that way. Nowadays,
Yep.
there's just so many roads. It's just like, dude, I want to take that road. How do I get there? And
Yeah, and you're
pursue it.
so correct. You're so correct with that. I don't mean to interrupt you, but you're
No,
so
you're good.
correct on that, spot on, because I felt like my parents decided to guide me a certain way and encourage me to take that path, right? But I'll do everything I can that whenever it's my daughter's time to hit that road, I'm going to tell her, hey, let's get the foundation that you need, your
Right.
schooling, your education, but chase something you're passionate about, because it's incredible whenever you can really do something that you are passionate about. I couldn't imagine being able to do this as a full-time gig. And if it comes, if the opportunity presents itself, I'll run with it. And it won't even be like work because you'll be so passionate about it and you can really deliver something that people will want to consume and want to come back to. And there's, different ways to monetize that, obviously, in today's world. So
Exactly.
I
And
completely agree.
the thing is, now it all comes back full swing to the hype squad. We were all people that had that love of video games, but at the same time, there's personalities with each and every person. And the thing was, it was just so much entertainment from so many just amped up souls, man.
Yeah.
And I mean, like Pooty was top tier. You're top tier. Like all these people are top tier entertainment. That when the opportunity presents itself, yes, it will. It will find its way to grow and will sustain. It's just at the right time. 6 years ago, it was just like, yeah, I don't know if I could do that,
Yeah.
But let's get into some of these questions here. Explain to us what content creation means in building a brand. We kind of did this a little bit already, but for a lot of people, the whole reason I'm doing this is because I do have a love and passion for video games, but also there's a lot of people that don't understand this yet. And before anybody gets too far behind the ball, I want to open doors and let them know what it is. But what is content creation from a content creator, Dex?
For me,
Yeah.
and what I feel that it is like you said, I am also an avid lover of playing video games. It's something I've always done as a hobby, right?
Right.
And I enjoy doing that in my free time and taking it a step further to be able to create this gaming content and be a content creator. Basically, I like to use my personality while playing these games to create different form of content that people might either want to learn different tips and tricks from.
Yep.
They might want to just see different things in games, or maybe they want to be entertained by creating funny type of content, something that might be just pure entertainment. They're not out to really learn anything. And once you can kind of gauge what the community may want to tune into, what they might be searching to try to find out about, or what they might just enjoy watching, just, to kick back and relax and have their time away from their daily grind. You could start delivering that content across different social platforms. And that's really where the brand will come in. People start viewing Dexb0t content for what I put out.
Yeah. It really is a different form. We talked about this a little bit before off screen, but it is a different form of TV. This generation forms things differently than, how we form things, or that we watch things as, back in the early 90s, mid 90s. It's different. It's a different compared to what it used to be, So what you're watching right now below me is Dex's Twitch channel. He's playing the new Call of Duty Vanguard game, which hasn't come out yet. He was able to play the alpha. But this is technically a way of making content, a TV show, if you will, in this generation, or just, a show of some sort. And he is the personality behind it. To be honest with you, you're not getting a different form of somebody. You might get that in some cases, but you are getting Dex. But at the time, he loves video games. So you're getting his entertainment from this perspective. And sometimes it's not even about the game. Like last night, we were playing Grand Theft Auto, and it was not about the game. It was just about the shenanigans of the dialogue with 4 friends and just playing around in Grand Theft Auto.
That's what people can truly fall in love with as fans and as viewers,
It really is.
They could play the game for themselves if they wanted to, but they want that content and they want that entertainment. And so you can fall in love with different creators that deliver that, and it's so cool to see that happening.
Exactly. And when you get, 3, 4, 5 different personalities all mixed together in one room, it's just, hour to 4 hours of shenanigans.
Buckle up.
Exactly. So what is the biggest or hardest thing about content and brand? Like, what is the biggest or hardest thing that you've realized over the years about your brand or creating content?
I would have to say, for me, I'll take it as a perspective of being a part-time creator that also has a full-time career.
Right.
But I also believe this could be equally as challenging for creators that are entering the space, and maybe they are taking that leap of faith and they're going full-time with it. It's going to be learning how to deliver content on different platforms and different social medias, because, whether you're creating content that you're going to post on Twitter, or you're going to upload a YouTube video, or if you're live streaming something on Twitch, or if you're creating an Instagram reel, YouTube short,
right,
TikTok type of content, right? All of that has to be created and delivered a different way.
Correct.
You have different audiences that are using these different apps. You have a younger generation that might be more into TikTok. Someone like your and I age may be checking out a video on YouTube to how to learn how to do something. And I believe learning how to deliver that content across those platforms and the algorithms that feed and fuel those platforms is really a challenge. And there's so much to take in and learn how to be successful in each and every one of those, because they're all different. You can't just take one clip and be like, hey, I'm going to upload this 1.5-minute video, and it's not going to blow up on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, everywhere. You have to kind of change how you're delivering it. So I'd say that's probably the biggest thing, is learning all of that.
It really is. And it is time consuming too. The one thing that I found when I really got deep into content creation and trying to do all the platforms is, if you don't have an editor, or you don't have somebody who's doing that stuff for you, you don't have enough hours in the day, especially if you have a full-time job like me and Dex. Right. Creating YouTube videos is great, and I can speak to everyone right now, because the 1UP show that I make every week, I find it very tough in the time that I'm allotted to make a half-hour show. I find many times I'm working on it at night just because I want it to be the right way. And the thing is, unless you have an editor who thinks just like you or makes great videos, obviously that costs you money. But like you said, you have to stay on top of things so quickly nowadays and know how to deliver it. You're 100%. I know from my perspective, that is one thing, is time. And, how am I going to deliver something different to every platform? And there's so many platforms. There's so many. It's wild nowadays. And who's going to be the next one? Like TikTok was the last one. Who's going to be the next one?
There's going to be something. It's going to be.
There's always something. There's always something. Who are some of your inspirations when creating content or building your brand? Obviously, you said that you caught Twitch in 2014, but who were some of your inspirations in creating content and why you started?
So one was Pooty, just off of having the access and having someone that I came across his content, but someone that's still more active and really still crushing it in the scene, I would probably say Tim the Tap Man. I love his energy. I love his passion for the games. And I love that so much of what he delivers is personality based.
Yeah.
I feel like that kind of matches me. I'm told my laugh is very contagious. I like to play off of my name Dexb0t, because a lot of times in the gaming space, whenever you mess up a lot or you have accidents or whatever, you don't always do the best things. You're called a bot nowadays, right? Well, that fits my brand perfect, because I love to laugh and have a good time. Sometimes I do things that is, incredibly awesome. And I'm like, man, how did I do so well in this game? And other times I have moments where I'm like falling off the level and, dropping things.
Fall damage.
Blowing myself up. Yeah. Falling off buildings, So I love the personality side of content creation. I feel like that fits me a lot more. I'm not trying to chase being someone that's competing in esports or competitive gaming now. I really like the entertaining side of everything. So probably be.
I mean, and Tim is just so good at that though too, because he was so good at Overwatch and he chased it for so long, and then he plays Fortnite where he died of fall damage or something, or and the thing is, when you build the right group around you, it's just exponentially funnier. And when and he had so many people around him when it came to Fortnite, which really put Tim on the map more so than he already had, because he was so famous before it anyway. And then now with Warzone, it's just like Tim just is that guy. He's not the best player, but he will say it like it is, but also be extremely entertaining. Like I love Tim.
That's me. I feel like I'm not on his level, but I feel like that's me too. Like I do cool stuff sometimes, but I'd rather laugh about it and have a good time and, cut up and
exactly.
It's my escape from the daily grind as well.
This question is kind of in left field, and I understand if you're not sure on this one, but what is the next big thing? What do you see impacting esports and content creation? Like I know I had Zytex on the show on Friday, and we were talking about with Lupo and Tim the Tap Man going to YouTube instead of Twitch. They're exclusively on YouTube now. It's guaranteed money. I feel like that's a big thing coming this way, but what do you see as the next big thing for esports and content creation?
I think that's the biggest thing right now.
Yeah.
Influencers and content creators are the future.
Yeah.
And that's not even just in gaming. That's the world we live in.
Yep.
My wife tells me all the time about girls and women that she's followed on Instagram, right? And they're delivering all different types of things about Target and different products you can get at different stores and stuff like that. And these are people that have hundreds of thousands of followers on that platform, and these companies are partnering with them to show off products, to advertise. And I just think that whenever viewers or followers can connect with that, they feel a direct connection, and you can you can follow or choose to buy into what they're advertising. Maybe try it out, to maybe play a game if you're following a gaming content creator. I just think the future is gaming content creators or content creators and influencers in every market across the internet and apps.
It's a way of cheaper promotion. Like when you think about it, think back to the days, again, we're going to our childhood, where you had TV. That was the only way, or a magazine that you would advertise, or a big billboard.
That's
nowadays,
how I find out about the Nerf gun that I wanted.
Exactly. Right? And it's like, Mom, I made my list. Here it is for Christmas. And it was all the commercials I'd see on Saturday morning cartoons. They knew exactly where they were going. So nowadays, everybody has one of these devices in their hands. I'm holding up my phone. Everybody has a phone in their hands. Where do they go? Social media platforms. Who's on social media platforms? Younger generation that if a store went to them and said, hey, I will give you a little bit of money if you promote this. It is a cheaper way of marketing to a bigger audience, or this generation's commercials, if you will. The day of sitting down and watching commercials on the Super Bowl is once a year. Like, people don't watch commercials anymore. You know what I'm saying? So if Bud Light or whoever reaches out to Dexb0t and says, hey, man, we'll give you this amount of money to promo this seltzer. I mean, of course. I mean, that's a way of, it's cheaper to marketing. Yeah, exactly. Where do I sign, dude? So, I mean, it's a way that companies are evolving with the media and platforms that are out there now. But you're exactly right. Influencers and the way that things are done nowadays, that is going to be the next wave, I really believe. And it's going to be guaranteed money. Whether it's people signing people to, whether it's an agency or whether it's media consultants, whoever it is. I mean, that's just the next form of money making. Because when you look at it, that's where most eyeballs are. And if you're staying there for a minute, guess what? You can pump a 30-second ad. I mean, that's what it is.
what's so new to so many people, just to touch on that a little bit more, these, being that we're specifically talking about gaming, these gaming content creators have similar or large followings to professional athletes these days.
Oh yeah.
So like we might have grown up and, oh man, Ken Griffey Jr. is wearing these Nikes. I got to try them out.
Yep.
Well, guess what? You have these gaming content creators that are also posting on their Instagram and different platforms wearing Nike shoes.
Exactly.
Guess what? It's the exact same type of marketing just delivered to those.
What were those shoes that were the big hit a few years ago? Those were strictly from gamers. Man,
Ninja's line or
not Ninja's lines. The one before Ninja. They were those goofy looking shoes that were slip-ons, and they were a few years ago. I can't remember. They were like $600 a pair. They were the Kanye's. What were the
never? Yeah, the Yeezys.
Maybe? The Yeezys. Yes, all the gamers had Yeezys, dude. All the kids that played Fortnite were like, dude, I gotta get Yeezys. I was like, what? What are Yeezys? What are Yeezys?
I'm all about this new form of content and new form of media, but I think it's just this part boomer in me as well.
Yes,
never spend $600 on a pair of shoes.
No, dude. Like, I'm not a whole shoe trade dude. Like,
I could buy 6 pairs of shoes for that.
I'm holding up my 40 pair of Hey Dudes that I found online. Like,
hey, I like those. I just ordered some.
I know, me too, man. I was like, these are great.
Hashtag ad either.
No. Hashtag Hey Dude, get hold me. But no, like seriously, it was like $600 for a pair of, what are these, like yacht shoes? Like, hello? I was like, oh wow. But yeah, that just shows you the marketing value of these kids nowadays, because I forgot who it was, but somebody was playing them wearing Fortnite or during competition. They're like, what are those? And they're Yeezys. Boom, heads up. So what is the biggest challenge right now for you? Like, obviously with the pandemic, I feel like maybe your content grew a little bit because we were all home. We didn't have much going on. Obviously, you have a year to really kind of play around, which I always find a silver lining in the COVID pandemic that we had, because my day didn't really change. I just had more freedom to create more content. But what is your biggest challenge right now with Dexb0t and the brand and yourself and juggling and all that stuff?
For me, I'd have to say it's time.
Yeah.
Mainly with just like where I'm at in life. I am married. I have a 5-year-old child,
mm-hmm.
and I have a full-time career. And one thing for me that I always try to keep in mind is, while I do try to chase this hobby of mine that I'm very passionate about, I try to chase it pretty aggressively. I'm very tied in, and I'm thankful for the community I've built around my brand and whatnot.
Right.
But I don't press to make things happen, because I don't want to look back 20 years from now and think, hey, I was up in my game room grinding out this content, grinding out these posts, and what if I never make it full time?
Right.
What if it doesn't happen? I don't want to miss my daughter's childhood because I was grinding. Right. I have a career that provides for me and my family, and I'm very thankful for that. So I truly treat it as a side hustle, and I try to create when I can,
right,
and see where it goes. I'm, like I said, I'm very passionate about it, but I would love to have more time to dedicate to it in the right way. I feel like I try to chase everything I can the right way, whatever that means.
Right.
I just never want to look back and regret trying to put too much time into it. And if it doesn't blossom into something official for me personally,
Right. But I mean, what ifs are always the big thing. I mean, you never want to be that where you get down the road and be like, what if, or what if.
I could play devil's advocate. I may look back at it and be like, what if I would have tried to go full time? Right. What if I took out a business loan and tried for a year to see where I could chase after or something?
Right.
I could look back at it the other way too. So,
but I mean, but the thing is, you don't want to do that though either. And like you said, you don't want to miss the family. You don't want to miss your daughter growing up. You don't want to miss those first things. You don't want to miss, the first time she brings home a boyfriend, which I'm already setting you up for. But I mean, maybe you'll sit down and play Call of Duty.
Better not.
But the thing is, like, I mean, there are so many what ifs, but the thing is, you also don't want to be on the bad end of any what ifs,
Right.
So content creation is just that. I mean, you don't know what's around the corner. It could present itself to you at full time. It might not present to you at full time, but you've left something behind. And like for me, you've started so many careers or so many interests in it too. I mean, I think that's another thing that a lot of people don't realize, or some might even take for granted, is you don't realize how many people you might inspire yourself. Like, I mean, you're an inspiration to me. You're the one that set me up a long time ago to push me down this road because the content was there. It was just I didn't know anything about it at the time. Pootie's the same way, you know, and Pootie's off doing his own thing too. He had to step away from content creation because there was a bigger door that presented himself. Not everybody is made and cut for content creation, but if you can pursue it, you know, like you said, the right way, air quotes, you know, things will fall in line for you. So that sounds 100 to me. You know what I'm saying? Like that is a big challenge. Time is just a life challenge, brother.
You know, it's not, we're not the only ones that struggle with that, you know?
No, so. But I also feel like we're getting to the part of this generation or this time in our universe where gaming isn't just for the youngsters anymore. You know, when we were kids, it was something you grew out of, or you were expected to grow out of it. Nowadays, gamers are 40, 50, you know, beyond, and people are chasing their hobby longer. And I feel like, you know, you will have your opportunity. It's just nowadays it's more obtainable than it was even just 10 years ago.
A lot of times, just to touch on that a little more, a lot of times whenever I feel like I connect with my audience and who may be watching me, sometimes I have people my age, sometimes I have, you know, teenagers that might be tuning in and checking out my content.
Yeah.
But I read an article earlier today that said the average age of the gamer right now is 35 years old.
Yep.
And I'm like, man, that's me.
That's me. Exactly.
I'm not the old guy all the time in these communities that I'm engaging with, you know, like I'm average. I'm right in there, you know?
And I think that what changed that for me was when I was in Lupo's stream when he first started getting bigger. Because I bring up Dr. Lupo all the time, and his name's Ben Lupo. He's out in Nebraska. I do that because we started at the same time. We played Destiny together. We both became Destiny streamers, and then he went one way. He's now a much larger person. I still was just to have a hobby. But the reason I bring that up, because he changed the mold in many ways. He had people that were my age and his age. We're kind of the same age, but he had an older audience as well as a younger audience, and he balanced it really well. He had content for both. So it wasn't just kids coming in looking for, you know, the latest Fortnite tips, but he also had content for people that were 35 to 40. You know, and as we get older, obviously there's more generations of gamers and they get older, and there's something that people associate with gaming that they will never leave, that holds close to their heart, that they will always grasp onto. For me, I don't know for you, but for me, Nintendo 64, GoldenEye, staying up overnight and playing that with buddies, like that is what I always bring back to gaming, you know, and it's friendships.
Gatorades and snacks.
Yeah.
Grinding that exact game.
Like proxy mines in lab all night. Like it was
telling us to be quiet the entire night. You know?
Somebody comes stomping downstairs. Shut up. Sorry.
Yeah. Be quiet. How many times have I told you? Turn that thing off.
Sorry, Mrs. Jones. Didn't mean it. But yeah, it would be 4:30 in the morning and the sun's peeking up. We're like, what are we doing?
You were supposed to go to bed at 2.
One more. And I always get the kick out of the memes. Side story here. I always get the kick of the memes because this was really funny when you see the one where it's like logged off 11 years ago and then it grays out and you never talk to him again. That happens so many times because you play with so many random people. And like you'd play with, you know, you finally hold on to somebody and you play with them like every day for like a year or two. And then all of a sudden, like you just never see them again. They logged off one night and they never get back on. And you're like, whatever happened to him?
And that is so deep for those of us that have had these experiences.
Oh yeah.
But even if you can't connect to gaming content and you're someone that's watching this just to learn or see something different, think about there was the last time that you went and knocked on your friend's house or their front door to see if they could come out and play. There was the last time.
There was the last time.
And you didn't know that was your last time knocking on their door.
It's exactly what it is. And that's why that meme hits so hard.
It's deep.
It is deep. And it's just so many things. Like the last time you might have called somebody or like there's just so many ways. It's just like, oh my God, that meme it's so hard. What has you hyped in the next 6 months to a year, man? What is huge right now that you think is coming out? I know you got Vanguard coming out. But is there anything else that, you know, that is hype in the next 6 months to a year for you?
For me, that's the biggest thing right now. I'm looking forward to the next
iteration of Duty.
Yeah. Call of Duty Vanguard. We're going back to World War II theme. We'll see, you know, what all that's going to come.
Are you a Warzone dude?
I have fun with it.
Yeah.
I'm not someone that really truly loves battle royale game modes.
Right. Okay.
So I have a hard time like delivering that kind of content all the time because, you know, like I said, my approach is personality and just being genuine and having fun with what I'm doing. So if I don't love the game, I don't try to like just make it or or just stream it
Right.
because of numbers, right? I want to have fun. So I really like the traditional multiplayer feel, your team deathmatch, your domination game modes and whatnot. So I'm really looking forward to what Vanguard may have to offer with that. I know the dynamics and gaming entertainment is shifting away from different models, and there's just opening up so many different options. So I'll always be staying tuned. I've considered checking out some more sports content, like you said, the MLB. I played around with some of that. This
it was so good, dude.
It was so good. But I've I don't know, keeping my options open right now.
You have those moments, man. I'll never forget when I got MLB The Show. I just started streaming for Woodward Sports down in Detroit. They're a digital sports platform, and Akil Baddoo for the Detroit Tigers hit a walk-off home run to win it, like his first game or something that he played. And I got Akil from the Packs right off the bat, and I hit a game-winning home run with Akil. And I just went off. I was like, oh my God, this game. It was a lot of fun. It's so satisfying. It really is. And the thing is, I wanted to play that game because I hadn't played a legit baseball game in 8 years since the 360 was around. It'd been a long time, and it did fill a hole that I needed filled so badly for traditional sports and video games. The thing was, when the contracts became exclusive to Sony and they took away so many of the sports games, we didn't have NCAA football anymore. We didn't have NCAA baseball anymore. We didn't have baseball anymore on Xbox. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then Tiger Woods went down the drain. I was like, oh no, all my sports games as a kid are, fading fast. And now they're bringing them all back, which I was like, sweet. Sign me up. Those are right up my alley if you want to fill in nostalgia. I was like, yeah. I mean, Grand Theft Auto is nostalgia, and I popped that in yesterday. I was like, wow. I forgot how much fun this is. But yeah, I mean, Vanguard, and the reason I asked about Warzone is because Vanguard will be tied into Warzone, just like they have done with Cold War and how they did with Modern Warfare. Again, Vanguard will have leveling up in the normal Call of Duty kind of architecture, and then they will have the guns level over to Warzone, which I'm excited to see if they have a new map for Warzone, because nothing against Warzone. I've had my complaints on this show already, but I need a new map.
Yep.
Let's start there. Then let's get an anti-cheat, and then let's care about your community. I'll leave it at that. How do you balance your day with content creation, brand, work, family, everything? How do you have a balance right now?
For me, I'm just winging it for the most part. I know that that's not always the answer people are looking for. Obviously I try to stay tuned to what's happening in the Call of Duty scene. That's my main focus. Whether we have new updates, new game mode coming out, different things you can unlock. I'm always chasing grinds, different ways to show and deliver new content, whether it's tips and tricks or showcasing new weapons in the game and whatnot. Those are mainly the things that drive me to make sure I have certain uploads or certain streams or posts at certain times. Other than that, it's just kind of having fun and engaging with my community across different live streams and videos when I can, for the most part.
Yeah, and I mean, I think a lot of what people don't realize is when we talk about updates in games, that is something new too. I mean, it's new to what? The last 6-7 years, if you will, but getting updates weekly or monthly, that's something that you and I chomp at the bit for. When you have new updates, man, it's just get me in the game now. I want to test these out. I want to see them. And that's a content creation. That's a dream for content creators. When you have something new to play around with in the main game that you play, I mean, that's Christmas morning, if you will. And a lot of people might not understand that. You're up until midnight waiting for that update, brother, and you got to play. There it is. That is the equivalent of being at GameStop on midnight for release. It's now updates at midnight if they release at midnight. What is the goals on your roadmap for Dexb0t in the next 5 to 10 years? I mean, it's 5 to 10 years, man. What do you think? Where's the brand going? Where's the content going? Do you have any idea? Or are you just playing this day to day?
For the most part, day to day. I've brainstormed a little bit over the last probably year or so. I've wondered what I could branch out into, because I've considered starting podcasts and delivering sports content and what I want to do with my whole brand that I've created as a whole, right? I know right now, like you said, we're talking 5 to 10 years. I'm 35 now. 10 years from now, do I still want to be on at midnight waiting on the next Call of Duty update to drop, right? I may not. Like my life's going to be evolving a little bit. My daughter will be almost entering teenage years at the time. So where do I want to be? That's a great question. I'm brainstorming that now as well. But I would love to have a relaxed way to still deliver content and have fun with it.
Yeah.
and still build a community around it at the same time. So still brainstorming on that. Would like to see where that could go. I have a lot of different interests, whether it's gaming and sports, and if I can all tie it all in one way, I might just do that.
And I always find it. I always look back at this question when I ask it, and I'm just like, think to 5-10 years back. Like, no, I never thought this is where I would be, and no, this is not like I didn't think I'd be working with esports or video games. I never thought that work would give me the opportunity to do that. I never thought that I'd be playing video games for a set amount of money, or I would be even playing video games for entertainment to other people. Like,
absolutely.
I feel like video games in general, there's just so many opportunities and so many doors that are opened at some point that you just don't know what they are, until they hit. And then it's like, oh man, look at this. Cause when I first started streaming and when we first started met, Super Professor is the one that knocked on our door for Set to Destroy X. He told me, hey, come join Set to Destroy X. I was like, what is an organization? I don't know what this is, and then that avenue took me down that path. And then all of a sudden Fortnite comes out and I went down that path for pro. And then I went down a managerial path. I just don't understand these paths when I get there, but I'm like, I'm going to do it. We'll see where it goes. And then you ride it out. And sometimes, you might be able to ride them out longer than others. Other times it might not be the right path, and you just okay, well, let's go down this one, see what it is. There's just so many paths in video games in general. And now the fact that, you can go to school for video games anything under the map of video games. If that was an option when I was a kid in college, I probably wouldn't pursue the weather degree. I probably would have pursued, a video game degree because there's just so much. When I was in school, even making video games wasn't really an option. Nowadays, you can game as an option. I was just
what?
I can be a grad school real quick. Where do I sign up? I won't live on campus, but so yeah, I mean, I just feel like you and I 5 to 10 years down the road, I feel like it's almost like we're, in the wind, if you will. That's what's going to judge where we end up at this time.
Yeah.
There's just so many possibilities.
Flexibility is going to be my biggest asset,
right?
Space, I believe,
just as long as we can stay up with
ability to learn.
I agree 100%, brother. All right, so that does it for the questions. We are well out of the hot seat for you when it comes to any questions and your brand, but I do want to open the door. Who are your sponsors that you have right now?
Currently I'm working with G Fuel Energy, which is a more healthy energy company. I'm working with Respawn Products. We deliver, or not we, the company delivers different gaming chairs and equipment, desks, and whatnot as well. A lot of ergonomic features and stuff that can benefit people that, are in this.
We're getting older and, you need that support, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. There's some standing desks and whatnot, So if you're here long hours a day, you need to get up off your bottom and do something, you can stand up. And,
my Apple Watch is telling me to stand. Hold on, guys.
Exactly.
So I mean,
definitely those companies are great. You can use code Dexb0t.
Yeah, use that code Dexb0t and get, what is it, 30% right now?
10 to 30. Usually 10 to 30. Different promo periods.
I wasn't sure if you had a promo period going on right now.
Yeah.
I know that Zytex kid had a promo period and that ends tomorrow. So whichever you're feeling you want to give, go to Dexb0t. Yeah, dude, G Fuel. I've used it for years, and to be honest with you, it is great. Especially I use it at work. That's where I mainly used it. Was coming in at 2 a.m. when I worked the morning shift, and I just I had the green apple candy and what was the other one I was using? Oh, peach. I think it was peach tea. Peach tea, I think, something like that. Yeah, it was good. That was a good one. My favorite though was the Swedish fish.
Oh, I love it.
Was it gummy?
Raging gummy fish.
Raging gummy fish. Yeah, you can't call it Swedish fish, but it's raging gummy fish. Sorry, G Fuel. My bad.
The red jelly looking fish on the bottom. I have it right here.
Yeah, and it tastes just like Swedish fish.
Yeah, branding,
exactly. Yeah, so there you go. Make sure you guys check out Dexb0t at all of his socials, and now we have some special games and segments to play with you, my friend. And I swear to you, our friendship will not be ruined of this, but it's always a good time. So we're gonna get to, first of all, do you want to run through your PC setup? Everybody always wants to know. First of all, I do want to point out this kid has always been a console player for a long time. All right, it hasn't been until recently that he's discovered the PC world, if you will. I mean, he came to me looking for a microphone, and he went with it, and he sounds miraculous. Agree? I think he does.
Thank you.
But do you know what you have in your PC? Do you know what kind of graphics card you have?
I'll be honest, I don't.
You don't?
So bad with PC hardware.
Dude, you're good.
That's the reason why I've stayed with the consoles. I'm playing and delivering content for PS5.
Do you have a PS?
Right now.
Also, you have a PS5?
I do have a PS5.
So you have a PS5. So you're one of the rare people in the world right now that have a PS5. I do have an Xbox Series X.
Nice.
It was the one and only time they had them in store here, and they've never had them again. Yeah.
Good for you, then.
You using a Scuff?
I used to. We don't have them on PS5 yet. They have not.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that.
I have one on PS4. I've had to go back to playing Claw now because the organization I'm partnered with is partnered with Scuff. So
Carnage has a Scuff. Okay. So this is my Scuff to anybody who's watching. If you're wondering what a Scuff is, let me focus on the camera. It is I have the Mars map one. This was one of my sponsors when we were in Fortnite, and they would send us these controllers. Now you wonder what these buttons are on the back. These are buttons that you can map to something on the front, so you don't have to move your thumbs from the joysticks. So I can jump from here rather than move my thumb and reload and jump and build and stuff like that. So Scuffs are just an easier way to have an advantage, especially nowadays. So when you think about it, Dex will probably agree with this. Now that most games are cross-platform, you have to be able to keep up with mouse and keyboard kids. And having a Scuff is, half a second faster in most cases. So you kind of have a little bit of a step up. Because mouse and keyboard is, they don't have aim assist, but they can whip around so very quickly.
So much faster.
So you need that little step up, and Scuff makes it possible. So if any parents out there hear kids say, I want a Scuff for Christmas, there's a million different options, which they just released a new Xbox Scuff, which is gorgeous. The triggers are built into the back of it, which is crazy. But nice. I totally forgot that they didn't have a PS5 one yet.
It just not yet, with every other challenge we're seeing in the world right now, limitations. Right.
Well, I think that's why they built a new Xbox Scuff controller, because they were running out of parts for the other ones that they usually had all the time. And now they're sold out of everything anyway, but that happens. All right, so we have a game that is called 10 Rapid Fire Questions. And again, nothing that'll ruin our friendship, but these questions are just so random, dude. But we want to see where Dexb0t thinks on these questions. All right, so I wasn't prepared. I got to grab them. Where are they? All right, I think I found them. So, yeah, I think I got them. I have so many papers in my office right now. Yeah, I think this will work. They're different ones, but they'll work. All right, cool. These were like the very first ones that I ever read too. So you're getting like the very first model of this game, if you will, because I've done this. I think this is like 20 now. I think you're like guess 20. Okay. But I also have to say my venture into podcast world was 3 years ago, I think, with Things About Things, and Dex was my first guest with Pooty. That was a fun podcast, man.
I remember
that. We streamed that live. I was like, there's got to be a streaming podcast, man. Like, and look at us now, podcasts are everywhere. We just lost touch of it just because everybody had other things going on. All right, 10 rapid fire questions, and I used to say you have 1 minute to answer these, but the problem is everybody has to justify their answer, so it turned into just 10 rapid fire questions. All right, so the first question: favorite platform / console?
PlayStation now, I guess.
PlayStation 5. That's your favorite? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I can't argue it because I've never played one. So I have not even seen one, let alone played one. Favorite game of all time?
Call of Duty.
What one though? You can't just say Call of Duty.
You said they were rapid fire. I didn't think I'd have to explain. Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Okay. That works.
I'm not sure how rapid we're going here.
Go-to snack while gaming.
Ooh, I
don't snack while I game. Yeah.
I don't want my controllers gritty and dirty and crummy.
The thing is, when I wrote that question, I was like, oh, and then everybody started answering. I was like, oh, maybe I'm unique and just don't eat while I game. But then the last few people are like, yeah, I don't eat while I game. What's your just go-to snack then?
Doritos chips.
Doritos?
Nacho cheese. The OG.
Okay. Nacho cheese. I was gonna say if you say Cool Ranch, we're gonna have a throwdown, dude.
They're not as good.
They're not as good. Fortnite, or not Fortnite. Favorite. I'm reading an F, and that's how stupid I am with Fortnite. I see an F, and I automatically go to Fortnite. Favorite band / musician. We're cut from the same cloth on this one, I believe.
If I had to choose one, I'd probably choose Under Oath.
Yeah, there you go. That's what I knew it would be the same. There's been a few of us. Yeah, there's a few OG early 2000ers that are like, yeah, dude, that's my music, dude. We're emo kids, bro. Who do you watch? Pro or streamer? Like, so who do you watching that is, it doesn't matter if it's pro or streamer, but who you watching?
Probably Tin Tatman, Dr. Disrespect.
Yeah.
For different reasons.
Dude, I loved it when they had him, Courage, and Lupo and Tim. God, it was so good seeing those guys back together. It was so good. Cat or dog person?
Dog.
Yep, that boy. Nintendo or Sega?
Nintendo. Gotta go. I'd have to stick with Nintendo there.
Really?
I would. I like playing Mario,
dude. But I mean, Sonic was so good though, bro. Sonic greater than Mario. Don't at me. Harry Potter or Voldemort?
What?
Harry Potter or Voldemort?
Repeat what?
He's not a Harry Potter guy, chat. Get it to him. See, this is why I made a new list after the first one. I forgot I had this question in here. All right, so we're gonna find what I replaced it with. Oh, I know what I replaced it with. First car.
What? I can't tell you that because that's my security password on multiple websites. I'm smart. Dream car? I don't know.
We'll do dream car. What's dream car?
Chevrolet car or something.
Oh my god, dude, that is the best answer ever. I can't tell you that because it's my security answer on multiple websites. Call the bank, honey. We're gonna have to change it.
Podcast.
Everyone's like, oh, what bank do you use? Number 9. Would you rather be attacked by one horse-sized duck or 100 duck-sized horses? I usually preface this one with it's coming out of left field, but I didn't give you that.
One horse-sized duck, I guess.
Oh man, I think that one's winning now.
Just end me.
Just end me. I'm not even battling. Just end me, dude. One horse-sized duck, dude. He just uses web foot to smother you. Number 10, brother. Last one, then you're off the hot seat. Anywhere in the world, where are you going?
Ooh, that's a good one. You know, I've never been to one of those exotic locations that has like the huts with the water like flowing and stuff. I'm not even sure the proper name for them, but I would love to be able to check out a place where like you could sit in the living room floor, has like water and fish like flowing underneath them and stuff.
Yeah,
beautiful blue water,
Fiji,
sun everywhere. Yeah, I think that's one of the places I've seen. Fiji. I would love to visit somewhere like that. That would be awesome.
I can tell you from experience. We went to Hawaii, and my God, dude. I'm usually like don't take my 4 seasons away. Like Northern Michigan, I love the 4 seasons. Winter can get long, but it's fine. But if there was one place that I had to move, that I had to live somewhere else, Hawaii would be it, dude. It was 90 during the day, 75 at night, no bugs, water's 85 degrees. Like it's wild. It is just gorgeous.
Sounds phenomenal.
Yeah, dude. And the funny thing was like Honolulu, I didn't like Honolulu. It was like Chicago on a desert island. But as soon as you leave Honolulu, it's just like, oh, please. Like, I just want this forever. It's just gorgeous. Yeah. But I agree with you. Fiji is a bucket list spot. That is one of our bucket lists because, like you said, you're in those water huts and like you're just surrounded by water. And it's just like, I want to do that. I don't know why, but I want to do that. So there it is, folks. Dexb0t, good buddy of mine, content creator. You can follow him on his socials as well as his Twitch there. Dexb0t on his Twitch, at Dexb0t with his Twitter, and it's a 0, not an O. Because you know why? He wanted to make things a struggle for you. Just remember that. He didn't want you to find it easy. But also Instagram as well as TikTok. YouTube, you can find them all in the same, I believe. Is that correct, sir?
Yep.
But Dexb0t, you're off the hot seat. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you being here, and we'll have you back on at some point. Maybe get your I do want to start a game review segment, so maybe we'll have you on for Vanguard, and we'll give our pros and cons with some Vanguard later sometime. So, but thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it as well. Thank you for having me.